Good morning, and welcome to our final Kidstock at Home performance for this season, coming to you live from Edmonds Center for the Arts. I'm Katie Newbaum. I'm ECA's Education and Outreach Coordinator, and on behalf of our boards of directors, staff, and volunteers, thank you for joining us for this live-streamed concert with Ben Hunter and Joe Seamons. I'm so excited. I want to start by expressing our gratitude to be hosting this event on the culture-rich Indigenous lands of the Coast Salish people. At ECA, we are committed to working with local tribes to acknowledge their ancestral lands and are honored to do so this morning. Kidstock at Home is made possible with generous support by the Hazel Miller Foundation, Nancy Bittner, Edmonds Arts Festival Foundation, Edmonds Arts Commission, Edmonds Diversity Commission, Edmonds Bookshop, and First Financial Northwest Bank. If you would like to share your support for education and outreach programs like Kidstock, I'd love you to open up a new tab in your browser, go to ECA's website, and hit that donate button. I'll provide a link in the chat box right now so you can find it easily. Even just $10 can buy a student's ticket to an education matinee. $100 can help fund a bus for their field trip. And even $500 can cover the cost of an entire school coming to ECA. If you are able, donations like yours can make all the difference in bringing free art to local students. Join me in making donations of any size to our programs. Thank you. You are about to see Ben Hunter and Joe Seamons, who give life to voices that have long been silenced in American culture. This duo celebrates the ways Americans have triumphed over oppression through the vitality of their art, inspiring others to learn more of their own heritage and engage more deeply with their communities. And I am so thrilled to bring them on our stage. We miss welcoming you to the theater in person, but are so grateful that you are tuning in and showing your support of ECA's digital programming. Thank you. Please join me now in giving a warm welcome to Ben Hunter and Joe Seamons. Yay!
Hello there. My name is Ben Hunter.
And I'm Joe Seamons.
And these are our digital selves coming to you live.
Through the miracle of technology.
Digitally. We're really excited to be here. I didn't know that we were the final performance of the series. At one point, we might have been the first performance of the series, but then snow happened and all sorts of things got in the way, which brought us here today to be the last performance. So we're happy to be here. We're going to start off with a fiddle tune. This song that we're going to play right now is called Sail Away Ladies. And you can sing along with it, with what I just told you. You can just say, sail away, ladies, sail away. I'll give you 3 seconds to process that.
Basically, I'm going to sing some stuff, and then you're going to sing with Ben. So I'm going to sing some stuff like this, and he's going to go, sail away, ladies, sail away. And that's where you also sing that phrase.
I was going to give you 3 seconds to process that, and then Joe interrupted invaded that sacred space of processing. So here we go. Here's the song. This version we got off of a recording. I believe it was the Harry Smith anthology, but I could be wrong. And it was performed by a guy named Uncle Bunt Stevens.
And for those of you keeping track at home, that's the Harry Smith anthology of American folk music. If you haven't heard it, hear it. It's awesome.
Although if you were to just type in Harry Smith anthology, as I mentioned, Google would take you directly to where you needed to be because there's no other duplicate Harry Smith anthology.
This has been another smooth introduction brought to you by Ben and Joe.
This is a song by Uncle Bunt Stevens, and he played this song for a fiddle competition. Henry Ford used to have fiddle competitions on his car lots, and it was the early days marketing of like bringing people to the car lots to buy these cars. And once they got to the factories where there was these streamlined factories, car prices were cut, in half and half and half. They reduced dramatically. And so it became a very affordable car thing to be able to buy for the masses. And so Henry Ford would have these folks on his car lots for these fiddle competitions, and everybody would flock to these places. Well, the first prize and what Uncle Bunt won was a new car. Heads up to all you car dealerships out there. Just think about it. A new car, a set of new clothes, a brand new suit, $1,000. $1,000.
Just imagine that in 2021 dollars.
Yeah, just put that.
Go do your math there.
Just think about that
Enter that in
inflation
Google.
rate, and a set of false teeth. You had transportation, you had spending money, you had clothing, and you had dental insurance, all packed up into a fiddle competition. Where have we gone wrong in the last 100 years? Please tell me. Here's Sail Away Ladies.
Get my new house done.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Give the old one to my son.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Never mind what your mama says.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Shake your little foot and fly away.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Don't you rock, daddy-o, don't you rock me, daddy-o, don't you rock me, daddy-o. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Golden brown.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Saddle my horse and go to town.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Got the news from Charlottetown.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Big St. Louis is burning down.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Don't you rock, daddy-o, don't you rock me, daddy-o, don't you rock me, daddy-o. Sail away, ladies, sail away.
You guys can't see it right now, but there are a million people in mine and Joe's mind just going crazy.
Yeah, it's like a football stadium.
People,
cube.
security guards are just throwing people off the stage as we speak.
It's pretty overwhelming. So,
Pretty much what normally happened pre-pandemic.
yeah, we're just trying to stay calm in the midst of the absolute chaos. Thank you to our noble production crew that are keeping all of that chaos off camera so you can focus. We appreciate them.
What's next, Joe?
Well, Benjamin, next up, we're going to sing the fine people a song. We're going to sing them a song that was done in many, I mean, it comes out of religious traditions, but really it has significance even if you do not participate in organized religion in any way, because the song is called "Let That Liar Alone," and I think that we all have.
Lying doesn't need to be a religious thing.
No, it turns out that you don't have to be religious or a-religious. Everybody's capable of doing it, and since we are trying to be good people as part of general policy, we're going to encourage you not to lie, and also to leave other liars alone.
Yeah, just let a liar be. Just let liars do what liars do best.
So everybody from the Carter family to the Golden Gate Quartet recorded versions of this song. Our version comes from the Golden Gate Quartet. We pay them tribute, and we like to share the story that it's good, but when you're presenting songs, to do your homework about where those songs come from. And also the artists that do the song, it's important to give that credit. And what we did was we made an assumption. And there's a saying about an assumption that you can ask your parents about. We're not able to say it now. But what it does is you make an assumption, and it can really kind of screw you up. And what we did was we thought Golden Gate Quartet, Golden Gate Bridge. This quartet must be from San Francisco.
It makes sense. You put 1 + 1 = 2, right?
Right. But turns out that there's
ask
this.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's not always the case.
Right. But turns out there's the pearly gates are also called the Golden Gate. And so when the Golden Gate Quartet, who are from West Virginia, named themselves, they were referring to the heavenly gates as opposed to the one that we were familiar with. So that's
as opposed to the one we're unfamiliar
with. We are not familiar with gold nor gates, is what I should say.
Yeah. Fool's gold.
Fool's gold
I know about
is the
fool's
only
gold.
kind. Yeah. And happy, is it May 1st? Is that like a fool? Isn't that May?
That's April 1st.
That's April 1st. Dang it.
Today is the
just
labor,
1 month off.
The labor celebration. The celebration of labor.
So
Or the,
this goes out to laborers who don't lie.
Right. Not the managers of those laborers who do lie.
Who do lie. And we do not endorse. Okay, glad we got through that.
Also, a bunch of history for you folks out there. But please do your homework.
Yeah.
Because there might have been a lie in there.
Yeah. Well, if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble, brother, you better leave that liar alone. Now if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble, brother, you better leave that liar alone. Well, you see that old liar coming down the street. Well, the first thing she'll do is she'll show them teeth. Then the next thing they do, they tell a doggone lie.
Well, you better let the liar pass on by now. If you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble, brother, you better leave that liar alone.
Right soon in the morning before you go out.
Well, you see that liar coming to your house.
Well, he'll say, Sister Sue, I ain't got long to stay.
And the next thing you know, he'll stay all day.
Now, if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble if you don't want, you don't have to. Get in trouble, brother, you better leave that liar alone.
I said, Sue, one morning before you get out.
Well, you see that old liar with a big dimpled smile.
Well, he'll talk about Sally and then lie on Jane.
Well, you said anything about it, don't you mention my name.
Now if you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble, brother. You better leave that lie alone.
Now if you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble. If you don't want, you don't have to get in trouble, brother. You better leave that lie alone.
Several explosions going on around us.
Yeah,
Just
that's crazy.
Paying no
it's
mind.
like July 4th in here.
Next up, we are going to render for you that black sheep moan.
Now, I think, I hope, we've all experienced this pandemic together over this last year and change. And it has been devastating to the entire world and continues to be devastating. We want to acknowledge not just that trauma and that pain, but also the heroic acts of so many people out there that are working to help our communities. One of the things that came out of this, though, was time to be able to reflect and pause and check out what's going on in the world. And, we've had a series of things that have happened over this year that have run parallel to this pandemic that have been shined a light on. And one of those things, I think, are the everlasting results, I suppose, of discrimination towards people, brown and black people of color, as well as to the LGBTQ community and various communities in this country and in this world that have been marginalized for being different, being other. And it's really important that I put other in quotation marks because we are all different and we all have different tastes and different likes and dislikes and different things. And so we could be, any one of us could be an other to anybody else in this world. And I think that just demonstrates that our differences are what makes our strength. This particular song was written by a person who perhaps lived in a community that didn't necessarily accept the gender that they chose for themselves. And, this song was written in 39, 37?
I think it was 34.
Was it 34?
1934.
And so you can imagine that, almost 85 years ago, what it would have been like for a trans person or a queer person to live in a community when here in 2021, the LGBTQ community is still suffering from the discrimination and prosecution of folks that don't think that they belong. And so we sing this song to remind us that that these struggles are still real, and they shouldn't be struggles. Thinking about 1,000 thoughts on my mind. Sometimes I get to thinking about 1,000 thoughts on my mind. Thinking about driving down some lonesome line. My mother's got a curry, my father down here drinking in the sea. My mother's got a
get along. What do you think trying when you say you can't get along? Might as well be satisfied. Take your sin, the Lord above. 'Cause I said, bye bye, baby. Bye bye till you call it gone. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye till you call it gone. I got enough money to travel this world alone. And I said, please, please. And I said, please. And I said, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on me.
All right, everybody. That was the Black Sheep Moan.
Originally called the Kansas City Moan and the Black Sheep Blues. It was recorded on two sides.
One record, two sides,
It's almost the same song.
but with some lyrics that we combined, and we want to attribute that. The artist went by the name of Pigmeat Terry. And we don't know enough about Pigmeat Terry, but our hats are off to them. This next song is from down in Mississippi. This is from the Mississippi Sheiks, and these gentlemen were an amazing string band that, a lot of in the time that this music was recorded, a lot of record companies they thought that the only thing that like black artists would record that would sell would be blues. And so the Mississippi Sheiks are labeled as blues musicians, but in fact, they had an incredibly wide-ranging and beautiful repertoire of different music, and we only know a sliver of it, of what was recorded. We don't know everything that was in their repertoire, but I think this is safe to say this is an original waltz that they created. It's called the Sheik Waltz. So I think they named it after themselves because I think they originated it. And so we want to celebrate the diversity of their repertoire and the fact that they were able to slip this one past the goalie in this case being some record executive. The man, right. Who probably...
That's the goalie, is the man.
The man. And so this is in tribute to them, the Sheik Waltz.
And just a little bit of extra, jug band music is a really unique music to America. I guess there's kind of like types of jug bands all over the world. These kind of like odd assortments of musicians that come together with different instrumentation and kind of boisterous and whatever. But these guys would play for parties. They'd play on street corners. They'd play for anything. They had music for everything and anything. And the Mississippi Sheiks, out of the kind of three main jug bands, I think that kind of were the big jug bands. Mississippi Sheiks, the Memphis Jug Band, and then the Conglomerate, which is the Louisville Jug Band circuit, which was a bunch of characters. These guys were maybe the most country out of all of them. But as this song is going to demonstrate, and Joe mentioned, this is they had a huge collection of stuff. And so, again, we should not stereotype or pigeonhole because we are more complex than we think we are. chic waltz. I hope you were dancing during that. More people should be dancing. You have all this time now in your living rooms with yourself or your partner or your cat or your dog or your fish, all of whom can dance.
We encourage you to both form a string band of your own and then dance to your string band's music. And if you cannot form a string band, use the miracle of the YouTubes and dance to the music that you queue up there. Speaking of YouTube, we have a comment section here that you are welcome to engage with. We see some thunderous applause there. We see people talking about. They think that we're talking about important things, which is always a very nice sentiment, even if it is questionable. But we're trying, you know. We are gonna play next for you a song from a legendary fiddler, Stuff Smith. And Stuff Smith was, well, I'm going to let Ben talk about Stuff Smith. What I'm going to talk about is that this is an opportunity for you to sing along. And what you do is you say this, Sam, the vegetable man. That's your part, okay?
What who do?
What I'll do, and what I hope you do.
It's from a recording.
But whatever who do you do that, okay? That's your part. I'm going to sing some stuff, and then you're going to join in with me and sing that line, Sam, the vegetable man, which happens to be the title of the song. Ben, do you want to speak to anything about Stuff Smith?
Well, his real name was Hezekiah. Stuff Hezekiah Smith. Hezekiah. Oh, God, already a great name. And then you just put Stuff in there, and you're like, what, Stuff Smith? I want that to be my nickname. Obviously, it can't be my nickname, so maybe Things. Is it Things Hunter?
Things.
It just doesn't work.
No, his nickname is Sticky Bump. So if you ever come up to him on the street, just say, "Hey, Sticky Bump, what's up?" He'll know what you mean, even if you don't.
I'm gonna let the history books unveil what Sticky Bump means. I'm gonna just let that wander in your imagination. The real answer is very PG.
It is surprisingly PG.
Anyways, here's whenever you're ready. Now, whenever you're ready.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Walking up and down the street, all the people he will meet. Alley-oop, how he cares with the peaches and the pears. Sam, the vegetable man. A nickel here, a nickel there. Won't make him a millionaire, but he's happy because he hasn't got a worry or a care. Sam, vegetable man. Cantaloupes, sweet potatoes. If you want yellow yams, all you do is holler Sam. He'll bring them to you. Late at night when work is through, Sam comes in with the swingaroo. When the mare's in the stable and the cow's in his bed, peaches and the pears are all in the shed. He's on his way to paint the whole town red. Sam, the vegetable man. Any apples?
No!
Any pears? Any gams?
Yeah, no.
Any gams?
Yeah, that's it.
Lay 'em on me then. Walking up and down the street, all the people he will meet. Alley-oop, how he cares with the peaches and the pears. Sam, the vegetable man. A nickel here, a nickel there. Won't make him a millionaire, but he's happy because he hasn't got a worry or a care. Sam, the vegetable man. Cantaloupes, sweet potatoes. If you want yellow yams, all you do is holler Sam. He'll bring them to you. Late at night when work is through, Sam comes in for the swingaroo. When the mare's in the stable and the cow's in his bed, peaches and the pears are all in the shed. He's on his way to paint the whole town red. Sam, vegetable man. Any apples?
No.
Any pears?
No.
Any yams?
No.
Any gams?
Uh-huh.
Well, lay 'em on me then.
Sam the Vegetable Man. Stuff Smith was a great character. He was such a creative jazz violinist, and in my estimation, one of the finest that this country ever produced. He was inventive and innovative, and I think stretched the boundaries for what this instrument could do for jazz, especially in the like with his contemporaries like Joe Venuti or Stefan Grappelli or some of these other jazz violinists that are I don't want to say more notarized or anything like that, but
Well, they were definitely more famous, I think,
due
for
to
most of the time.
due to perhaps the color of their skin. But Stuff Smith, I think, was one of the finest, and I know that Sven Asmussen and Stefan Grappelli and Joe Venuti all thought very, very highly of Stuff Smith and his contributions to the genre. So check him out if you don't know who he is. Stuff spelled Stuff Smith.
And one of our fiddler friends that loved Stuff Smith taught us this next song. His name was Frank Malloy. He was a resident of Tifton, Georgia. And so...
Pronounced Tifton,
Tifton.
Georgia.
Yeah, this is where we ask all of those with authentic Southern accents to tune out, as we are going to express in a few words our very unrefined fake Southern accents to tell the story of Frank Malloy. We had the joy of stewarding him about the Fort Worden back. This would have been about 2017, I'm guessing, 16, 17.
For all of you on the YouTubes that are in, Russia or Cambodia or wherever you are, Fort Worden is in Port Townsend, Washington, northwest coast.
And there they hold a very notable fiddle celebration, a week-long festival called Fiddle Tunes. And they flew Frank Malloy out to Fiddle Tunes. He was aged 88 at the time. He had never been in an airplane. He had toured throughout the South for 88 years, playing his amazing music.
Maybe like 80 or 76 years.
Maybe he wasn't touring that whole time, but like he was still gigging at that point in his community. And Frank came and shared a bunch of music that he had gathered from his family members, from people in his community, and he had notated it all and documented it and was there to pass it on. And so this is one of the songs that he passed on to us, and it gives you another dancing opportunity because it is called Field Sparrow. So we invite all of you people that are fans of fun out there, please, if you are seated, please no longer be so, and stand up and do your best dance, imagining how a field sparrow moves, and express that with your body. That is our request of you in this next number.
It should also be known that, this, what do you call it? Fans of Fun? Fans of Fun, that club, Frank would travel up and down the coast, mainly Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and him and his brother Joe would go to these different events that were all events that kind of happened after giant work parties. Back in the day, and in many parts of the world and in this country, it still exists where neighbors and small communities gather together to do, some of the heavy lifting jobs of the community, whether that's corn shucking or wood chipping or
bean
stringing or candy breaking,
butter stirring,
butter stirring,
shoe rounds,
or ice carvings, or bread butterings.
We clearly have very firsthand knowledge of these gatherings.
Juice pressings. And after the work was done, everybody would get their instruments and they'd come together and they'd play music and they'd dance and they'd battle each other. One of our dear mentors, John D. Holman, died yesterday at the ripe old age of 92. in an interview that a friend of ours, Elijah Wald, did of him back in like 1992, talked about how, he learned all of his dance steps, and all of his guitar playing from going to these work parties, and then afterwards just hanging out and challenging people. Be like, oh, you got a dance step that could top this, and then somebody would dance, and so like these fans of fun all came out of hard work. People would work together, they'd help each other out, and then at the end of the day, they would play music together and eat food together and celebrate what they had built and made and created together.
Yeah, and if you're interested in learning more about that sort of thing, a great place to start, well, since you're maybe on YouTube already, look up a movie. It's for free on YouTube. It's called Blues House Party. And there you can see the illustrious John D. Holman back in the 1970s, where, showing off his dance moves and some of the stories and things that he learned at those parties. So check it out, Blues House Party. Highly worth your time. Here is
Feldspar.
Yeah, I don't like Ben's pronunciation.
Feldspar.
With the Southern Georgia drawl, it sounded to me more like Feldspar.
Right. Well, Joe, being from Rainier, Oregon, probably has a closer relationship to the country accent that I do, being from Phoenix, Arizona. I'll stick with my Feldspar, though.
field spar.
Once again, much love to Frank Malloy and the great John D. Holman. We're going to play a song from closer to home now. We're going to play a song from my neck of the woods down in Oregon. I grew up outside of a tiny town called Rainier, near another tiny town that used to be a logging camp called Vernonia. And Vernonia was the site of one of the Oregon American logging company's operations. And so a lot of the songs I inherited come out from the Into the Kesey line, which is one of the lines out there outside of Vernonia. And this song was written by my friend Hobie Kiter, who is a tradition bearer of great repute along the Columbia River. And he lives out in Astoria and has written many songs about the fishermen and the loggers of European descent in that area. And so this is a song that's about the Oregon American Company, and it comes to mind a lot for me these days because we are living through a ridiculous spike in the prices of lumber. We've got demand going out of control. It now costs $26,000 extra to build a house because of how much more your materials cost, because we have not stewarded our forests effectively, and we have not learned from indigenous peoples how to properly manage this amazing land that we inhabit. And so this song is both a tribute to people who do understand proper stewardship and also a lament that the beautiful trees that were here and so wonderfully maintained by, in my case, the Chinook people, are no longer there. Either forest fires or the logging operations cut the vast majority of them down. And so we want to acknowledge that fact, and we want to, as artists, part of mine and Ben's work is to agitate for a better world. And so I want to see a world where we learn from the people that know how this land should be treated. And that's what this song's about for me. It's called Oregon American.
It's an average of $26,000 per house. It's not a defined figure. People have different houses, 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms. So if you're building a house, just know that that's a arbitrary average.
And that's just the additional cost, right? That's just on top of what you already.
Like if you want a den or something.
Or an ADU. Could be more. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. They came from Camp McGregor down by train, and where they went they ne'er came back again. And it's everyone's a giant of the woods, got carted off just like some stolen goods. Where did all the timber go? Where is all that old growth now? That's what I'd like to know. It took so very long for it to grow, and now it's gone, Lord, Lord, solid gone. The timber that came down from this place was the finest ever seen by the race. 100 feet and more straight grain clear, the very limit of the rolling gear. Where did all the timber go? Where is all that old growth now? That's what I'd like to know. It took so very long for it to grow, and now it's gone, Lord, Lord, solid gone. Well, they called it Oregon American, and for them worked many a good man. And in these works they took their pride, 'cause they believed they had progress on their side. Where did all the timber go? Where is all that old growth now? That's what I'd like to know. It took so very long for it to grow, and now it's gone, Lord, Lord, solid gone. half the holdings of the company. It was Ken McGregor and East Side up in flames. On this whole region nearly lost the game. Where did all the timber go? Where is all that old growth now? That's what I'd like to know. It took so very long for it to grow, and now it's gone, Lord, Lord, it's solid gone. The companies today bear different names, but the policies remain about the same. Except that now the big trees are gone. They can't wait till they're grown to knock them down. Where did all the timber go? Where is all that old growth now? That's what I'd like to know. It took so very long for it to grow, and now it's gone, Lord, Lord, solid gone.
Wood is crazy priced though right now. And it's ironic that so many people are building. I guess that's part and parcel of it. It's not ironic. That's just straight economics. I should have taken that class. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's hard to build right now. It's preventative.
Yeah, and we're going to transition effortlessly from Northwest Timber to Georgia Grape Soda is our smooth transition here.
Although after a nice day of cutting wood, a nice cold grape soda would be nice. So they are connected.
This one comes from, they build themselves the New Grape Twins. And like too many of the amazing black American artists whose music we love, there's not enough known about them. But what we do know is that they recorded 4 or 5 sides, and most of them were religious in nature, about their Christian faith. But then they also had this number, which was, we don't know what exactly their motivation. If they just really loved New Grape Soda, if they were, selling New Grape Soda from the back of their wagon as they traveled around and serenaded the people. We're still, it's a mystery what their motivation was here.
It's entirely possible that they translated their
Faith?
I was going to say proselytizing, but yeah, their faith through the sweet, sweet nectar of grape soda, like many people do to this day.
Right. So we encourage all of you historians out there to do some digging. We know that the New Grape Building still stands in Atlanta, Georgia, but we don't know what the New Grape Company's relationship was to this wonderful duo. We love to learn whatever you can tell us. So there's a challenge for all you historians that like Kidstocks. Okay? Check it out. Let us know what you find.
Cool. We have 6 minutes.
Wow.
It's been so long since we've been on a stage. What is time? You could have done this for hours.
Yeah.
Well, oh, yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
I got a new grape, nice and fine. She rings around the bottle is a ginger wine. I got your ice cold new grape. I got a new grape, nice and fine. There's plenty imitations, but there's none like mine. I got your ice cold new grape. Way down yonder in the promised land. Go run and tell your mama there's a new grape man. I got your ice cold new grape. Little children in the backyard playing in the sand. Go run and tell your mama there's a new grape man. I got your ice cold new grape.
This is where you hum along.
no more. I got your ice cold new grape. What's that make your lips go flippity floppy when you drink a new grape? You don't know when to stop. I got your ice cold new grape. If from work you come home late, rolling pin weights at the gate, smiling prize her with new grape, then you'll sneak through in good shape. I got your ice cold new grape. Sister Mary has a beau, says she's crazy, loves her so, buys a new grape every day, knows she's bound to win that way. I got your ice cold new grape. Here we go. Feel that nice refreshing drink.
All right. We just have a second left. Do you want to just do a quick slippy, slicky, whimsy, witty?
Sure.
Oh, slippy, slippy, slicky.
No time,
whimsy, witty, slow but quickie.
Barntown Williams breakdown. No,
New
that's a
but
different
new
one.
but oldie. old but newy. I wrote this song for that guy Frank Malloy that we talked about, and he really liked old titles or long titles. So I tried to make it the longest, funniest title I could, and I can't remember it. We're just gonna call it Slippy Slicky for now. Clap time. Slippy Slicky, whimsy witty, slow but quickie.
Upside down beat.
Frank Malloy breakdown. Thank you all so much, everybody, for being with us tonight, today, this morning, May 1st. And we hope to see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Oh, True North.